Okay, friends, so my goal here is to walk you through Mahara a little bit more. We've talked as a big group about the blogging tool for Mahara, and now what we want to look at is the portfolio tool. Portfolio tool, really the best way to understand it in the big picture is to look at the first page right here on Mahara. The nicest thing that this site, that this tool does for us is to give us its basic architecture right here. So it's set up that you put together a portfolio, and you can think about portfolio like maybe you've done a portfolio in another class that's in real time. So literally it's a big fat binder you're handing to somebody. And what Mahara wants to do is provide for you a way to do a big fat binder much more beautifully, or at least more visually and digitally. So it works very much in the same way. So the steps essentially are first that you collect, create, and collect right here. You create, so you're doing all this writing or whatever the thing is, you're finding images that are interesting to you, or sound files if you wanted them. So the creative possibilities are over the top. But in terms of the construction of the portfolio itself, what you do is you first gather together all the pieces that you will use later for the portfolio. Then you, as they say, organize them into pages, so you can set them up in sort of different chunks. You can think about these pages like maybe file folders, or maybe you want to think about them like sections of your portfolio. And you could organize that in any way that you saw fit. So for a student, maybe they're organized by class name, but maybe if we really wanted to communicate some overlap, they're organized by theme, or maybe they're organized narratively by timeline. You can essentially pick the structure of your portfolio. You can decide that. And the pages function is what sets you up to do that, and I'll show you that in a second. And then once you organize it and you've got it all set, then you go to share it. We have a pre-existing group within Sustain, at least, that you would join. If you're not in Sustain, then you would join the group that matched your class. So if you were, for instance, in another one of my writing classes, you would see a group with your class's name. Spit it out. I did. Okay. So anyway, so you join a group, and then you sort of publish it, and it effectively sets up a little website for you. This thing really is just a little website builder, from what I can tell. Okay, so create and collect, organize, share. So let's start by looking at create and collect. And really, the best way in using this tool that I can see when you get lost or confused is to click the dashboard button again and to go back to this kind of structure to see where you are. So we've looked already together at publishing a journal, which you can then also connect later and publish. Or they say publish here. That's not really true. It's really create, and then later on you figure out how to share it. The places we're really going to use, you could do a basic portfolio updating if you wanted. So look, oh, I put my picture. That was terribly attractive. And again, the architecture of the site goes by, so we have a top tab here. So dashboard, I'm going to click back to dashboard. Dashboard showed us the major sections available in this tool. If we go to content, then content gives us then the subsections, and that's the way that the architecture of the site works, or the interface works. So you can click through these spots here to update your basic profile, and in my opinion, do I really need to have an opinion? I don't know. Let's back up. So the files themselves go here. They go here under, wait for it, files. So under content, you've got the profile page, which is just a little bit of information about you. And then files are really the thing that you're going to work to build your portfolio with. So it works very much like all other uploads. So you browse for upload file, and you can choose, whatever files you have from your own computer, upload them, and then you can organize them down here. So you can create a folder. So for instance, my folders are making, teaching, and writing. And this is the way that I'm, at least for now, going to set up my portfolio. You could, for starters, not create any folders at all. These things are drag and droppable, so if I want to put this screenshot, did it work? Oh, it worked. So if you wanted, you could dump everything here just in terms of individual files, and then when you decided your structure later, you could put them into folders, but it's all very organizable, pretty straightforward to interface with here. The buttons to the right are, the one with the pencil means you can mess with it, so I can describe the folder that I've got, and then the X is delete. Don't hit that button, not unless you want it all to go away. Okay. So I'm going to click back up to files to see where we are there. So this is where we upload all the stuff we have to work with. So you can think in terms of, Word files, or even better, although maybe it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for our purposes, Word files or PDFs or whatever you have. But again, you can think in terms of sound files and image files. Lots of creative possibilities here, but this is where you dump the stuff you're going to then build with. Okay, so then the next piece of that, you would click over to Portfolio. The portfolio is a place where you start building with the pieces. I did create a page, so I have here this sort of structure, making, teaching, writing for me. Didn't happen automatically because I named the files that. So I went to create a page. And so maybe if I were, oh, interesting. I didn't want to take you here yet, and this is where we went. This is the page, okay, I'm remembering now. This is the page that I thought was the most confusing in the entire tool. And, interestingly, it's the most important page. So the name of the page, it starts with edit content. It ought to start with edit title, I'm not lying. So if you go to edit title, this is where you name whatever you want the page to be. So I had making, teaching, writing. Let's say I'm going to have a page called, what else do I do? Biking, right? You know it's part of my life and it's new. Biking, and also I go on the bus. Biking and bus. No, just biking. Okay. So biking. So I could say something about it if I wanted to, and then I'm going to click save. And this is going to give me another page that I can then create with and from. Once I declare the name of the page, then I'm literally dragging and dropping. And you all look how this works. So again, we have a structure of file tabs here. And this gives me all the different types of file structures. So if I go to files and images, I am, get ready for it. You know what it is? There's a white box down here, and this is the page we're creating. Not highlighted very well. So I literally drag, look at this, see? I don't know how I figured this out. It was totally accidental. I didn't read a tutorial. You're probably not even listening now, right? You've just started dragging things around. Oh, okay. So when I drag that, let me do that again. Let me do it again. I'm gonna get out of here, I'm gonna do it again. Yeah, I do want to believe it. Okay, I'm still talking about it. Okay. So what I do in these sections is I tell the page what sort of functionality that I want to have happen. So if I want a file to show up on this page, and again, it's just a web page I'm building, then I drag down the functionality of file loading, and then I choose the file that I want to upload. So I wish I had something here. So maybe I could take, for instance, a screenshot of my bike. That's a good idea. And a piece I've written about my bike. And if I had uploaded those, then I would browse for them and I would choose them, and I would click save and have here. Why didn't I do that really fast? This is going to take forever, right? That's okay. We're having a great time. Get some popcorn. Come back. So so I get here and I'm building. I don't have what I need. I'm going to go over to where I want to be. Here we go, a little personal sharing. And I'm going to find a picture of my bike. That's what I need. Okay? So, where is that picture? There's a great picture of, here we go. This is the bike warmer. So, my bike, as you know, is covered in polyester. Here's the image. I'm going to drag this to the desktop. Can I? Hello, everybody. Where'd you go, Mr. Desktop? Oh, personal information. I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, I'm dragging this to the desktop. There we go. I'm dragging this to the desktop. Then I go back. Where'd I go? Hello, Mahara. Where'd you go? Oh, that's up. Oh, you know what? Oh, here we go. So, if I want an image, I'm going to drag image functionality down, and then I'm going to upload my picture. Ha! It's right there. Open, and look, there's my picture. I'm going to save it. What happened? Oh, I hope it works. How embarrassing if it doesn't work, right? Processing. What if this takes a long time? Oh, I'm so bored. Okay. It's going to process my image. It's going to put it up here. Okay, I'm over this. I'm over this. Trust me, it'll happen. I hope it happens. Okay. But look, it does take a little time, so don't be upset if it happens to you. Once I have the picture there, yeah, I still want to delete the block. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my content. So I'm uploading whatever kind of content I want here. On files, you know, of every kind described. And click through here and see all the possibilities. Your journal, your whole journal, just one entry, these are all possibilities for each individual page. So I'm back up here. That was a content. We already talked about title and description. Then I'm going to click to layout. And that's going to tell me what I want this particular page to look like. So if I want just a picture of my bike, I'm going to choose one column. And that's what my page is going to look like. It's just going to be a big fat picture of my bike. Now, I'm wordy, so I'm not going to want that. I'm going to want a picture of my bike, and I want the picture to happen on the right-hand side, and I'm going to want to write some copy about it maybe for this page. So I click Save. What do I do now? So I go back to Files, and maybe what I do is down here, and again, this is where I'm building the page. I'm going to then put, I'm going to copy in that blog post maybe that I wrote earlier. I want a file. Well, I don't want an existing file. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's getting so awkward. Right. How do I do text? There's something. A text box. There it is. I can do a text box. I'm going to write something here. Okay. This is the picture of my better than yours bike. Sorry, nothing personal. I'll tell you all about it later. Okay. So I'm going to have this text box that has that information, and then I'm going to go over, and I can, because of the way I've structured the page, go to image gallery. My image is going to be there because I've already uploaded it if I had, and I'm going to drag that here. So I'm starting to build a page. I'm going to choose my file, my picture file. We already know that's not going to work. I'm starting to build a page that, well here, what pictures do I have on here? Hold on for a second. Never mind. I'm starting to build a page that has shape to it, okay? And then once I do that, then, again, I'm back up to the main files here. I hope you're staying with me. I know I'm talking fast and a little chatty, but really most of what I want to see is the way that the structure of the site works. I can go over here to the display page, and this is the part where it shows me what it's going to look like. So if I'd had the patience to wait for the image, it would have happened here, and I'd see what that thing looked like, okay? And then if I want to share is the place where I then publish. So I touched my nose, have you ever seen a Julia Childs? She's forever like stirring something that happened to me. Anyway, okay. So I gather all my stuff together, and then notice that if I haven't done that, I can go dip out and then regather. Then I start to give it some sort of structure, and then I click Share to make it visible. So the Share function, I decide within this page who I want to share with. So we have a pre-existing in Sustain. We have a pre-existing group called Sustain that I can add. So I'm going to add this. I click Add, right? And now everybody in Sustain can see my weird bike page. I could instead, if I wanted to just wait and not show the whole group for, I could just publish to my friends, maybe. And then later on I could see, look here, I changed my mind. I don't want Sustain people to see this yet, so I can delete that. No, they don't get to see my bike page. I'm taking that down, right? And then I click Save. So again, gather, build, share. This is the basic structure. Now the rest of that, in terms of how to see it, I'm frankly still working on this part. This is what, for instance, one page that I built looks like. So under writing, I did this sort of basic structure that says blogging, and I wrote a bit about blogging, and then I did a text box to do I blog in a number of places, and then I drug in screenshots. So this one's a screenshot. This, I just copied and pasted the actual text. I like the idea of screenshot better, and I really am not, for our purposes, wanting to share the specific writing as much as wanting to send a message that I write in a number of places, so that's how I'm doing that. So I hope this is enough to get us all started. It's not enough to get us all finished, I know that, but maybe it'll give you enough to at least to kind of know how to enter. And good luck portfolio building. That was a really good close, such a good luck. It just was so motivating, I know, and people are going to go do it now. They really are. It's real good.